or four-belt era, and you became the second undisputed champion in 3 weight classes when there was only one champion back in 1938 with Henry Armstrong. That's a lot of stuff.
You hear that? You hear that?
Which do you think means
all
the
of
most?
It. And all of it.
Saturday.
I'm glad that he think he's confident. I like it. I like the confidence, but he talking too much. You know, he gonna get exactly what he.
Terence Crawford's Udid and Jaron Boots, they had just met for the first time, but the talk got heated very quickly. A quiet sit-down turned into a verbal fight that shocked the boxing world. Even though he had 2 champions from 2 different groups, Crawford didn't smile the first time. He shot back and called Crawford an old guard that was afraid to pass the torch. The camera caught every second. People really lost it as soon as the interview was over. Twitter, podcasts, and fight sites went crazy. Is this the next big boxing match? Because let's be clear, this is not a nice fight. The sports king and the man who wants his crown are getting into a fight. Let's talk about what happened in that interview and how it led to the future epic fight. Let's get one thing straight. It wasn't like any other friendly media run. Crawford was going from place to place talking about legacy, talent, and what comes next after his huge win over Canelo Alvarez.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
Jaron Boots and Ennis sat down next to him. He is young, sure of himself, has never lost, and is set on proving that he is not just next in line, but now
you got Boots Ennis in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test tells it all. You know, he's got the it, you know, but we haven't seen him against any elite fighter. We've never seen him tested. So until then, you know, we just going to keep saying, oh, Boots, 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 until he meet that fighter that's going to test him.
Is that a fight that you would be interested in?
Nah, it just don't make sense right now in my career. Like I said, like, especially money-wise. Don't nobody really know Boots, but
right.
I'm looking for bigger and better challenges like Canelo.
You're just looking for the big ones.
Yeah.
The big fish.
Yeah.
Fish fry.
That definitely. Definitely. Them the guys I'm looking for, you know.
it's been months since Boots called Crawford's name. He's not being mean, but he's hungry. There will be fireworks if you put 2 top predators in the same room with cameras running. For the most part, Crawford kept his cool. Boots had been here before, but you could tell he wasn't there to be nice. It was clear. Canelo lost to you. Thanks, but I'm not them. I'm going to get that crown. What Crawford was thinking was clear from the look on his face. Do not be afraid. Instead, focus. That old-fashioned look for Omaha. The mood then changed. This isn't your usual story about an old lion fighting a young cub. Crawford doesn't have a bath. He feels great.
World-class Honda. What does he mean?
He said world-class fighter. I guess he's trying to say if you're a world-class fighter.
Sign a contract. Exactly, sign a contract. If he wanted to fight, he would have stayed at 47. He obviously said he wanted to move up in combat to be undisputed at 54 or something like that. So, yeah, he definitely did say that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We ain't worrying about, right now we ain't worrying about Crawford. We're going to clean 147 now, and then we're going to move to 154. If he there and he got a belt, we coming after him. Simple as that.
After beating Israel Madrimov, Errol Spence Jr., and Canelo Alvarez, who was to weight classes higher, Bud's record looks unbeatable. He is the first person in history to have never lost in all 3 weight classes. He has had 42 fights, won 31, and lost none. That's not just fine work. That's what memory means.
That's the fight that everybody want to see.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Do you respect him as like when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so.
I understand it, but don't lie or kept to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said they called and we said we never heard nothing else back about it. So
right.
I mean, I respect it though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, but don't be capping on.
Things get hot now, though. Jaron Ennis is being trained to be the next pound-for-pound great. He is 27 years old and has a 34-0 record with 30 knockouts.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
Eddie Hearn even talked about it. When it comes to weight, Boots are the best. There is no one waiting. Not in 3 years, but in 1 year. Boots gives off a Philly-style aggression. Quick, flashy, and not scare. He won at 147 pounds and blew out at 154 pounds. Some people think he could move up to middleweight or even better. You may have heard of this before because Crawford did the same thing. It's like having a mirror up close. Another version is trying to crush the image, while the first one has just a few more years of experience.
Just feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. Now, obviously, we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy, and Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very much in his prime.
The trash talk wasn't what made this face-to-face so interesting. It was all about being polite. Boots didn't say that Crawford was old. He said that he was great. He did, however, make it clear that greatness must be tried. He replied, "Bo, I'm going the same way you did. There is Spence, Madrimov, and Lima. You moved up in weight to get to Canelo, making the same move to get to you." He's right, too. Boots is basically copying Crawford's steps to the letter. He was the best middleweight boxer. He is now moving up to super middleweight. Going to middleweight might be the next step. He will have to fight if he gets the belts like Bud does. A famous Phillies player named Danny Garcia told DAZN, "Stylistically, it's a dream matchup. Clark's only risk is that Boots will get hungry. A young, eager fighter who wants to do what you've done."
That's a good fight. That's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Probably at middleweight or something. That's like a vacant belt. That's definitely up there. That's definitely a big fight. Probably Shakur and Tank too, maybe. That's like right on the scene. But yeah, that's that. He might not be lying. That might be the biggest fight.
When Crawford heard that, his eyes lit up. "I've been here before. Take a look at the ones he gave Canelo and Spence." When the film stopped, everything went crazy in the fighting world. Some say Boots is the new face of the sport. Some people say that he hasn't won the right to breathe Crawford's air.
And, obviously we're here in Philadelphia for Boots Ennis. Eddie, a couple other people, called Boots the natural successor to Terence Crawford, and obviously I know your relationship with him. Do you feel that high on Boots as well, or?
Hell yeah, I think Boots is a hell of a fighter. I don't know about the natural sensation, whatever that is to Terence Crawford, I think Boots is his own fighter, Terence is his own fighter, but I think they both hell of a fighters. I've been around Boots for years, and he's the truth.
And last one for me, I'll let you go. Obviously, everyone's talking about a potential fight, you and Teofimo. Is there any updates to that? I mean, is that something that you are looking towards?
Yeah, that's the fight I want. So, ain't no updates. I don't speak business until the deal is done, so nothing to talk about.
Eddie Hearn really likes Boots. After beating Crawford, Usyk, and Inoue, he thinks Ennis will be the pound-for-pound king by the end of 2026. And that is not an exaggeration based on his raw ability, speed, and finishing power.
And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say they just don't beat Jaron Ennis. In fact, that style is absolutely tailor-made for Boots. Just to make it clear on Virgil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters, and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Virgil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November, and we haven't heard anything back. On Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the Boots fight made. I said, well, we're in. I don't, you know, so I take their word for it, and I truly believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make great fights. But that fight is done on our side, on all the terms that we agreed with Golden Boy. That fight for me, although it doesn't carry an official world championship, which is what we want at 54, is one of the best fights in boxing.
Crawford's crew, on the other hand, is not impressed. Brian Bomack McIntyre, Bud's main manager, has said before that Bud will not go down to 150 for anyone. They need to show up if they want him.
No, he don't bring nothing to the table. He got our leftovers. Why would Bud want to go backwards? I want to go backwards. Bud looking for bigger and better fights, so where he can etch his name in the concrete forever. I don't know, cause I really don't look at none of the welterweight since we did clear the division out. I'm done.
Now it's up to Boots. Can he move up to more levels like Crawford did? Can he make enough no's to push Bud's hand, like Bud did with Canelo's?
As his trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
You know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
You think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
So let's not forget, Canelo is said to have laughed at the idea of fighting Crawford. He thought Bud was too small, but after a year, he stood on the canvas and watched history happen. Sounds like you. Boots could be telling the same story backwards. Crawford is currently the best in the sport. He can choose Gennady Golovkin, Janibeka Limit Canuli, and maybe another fight between Canelo and Golovkin. He wants to learn about history, a title in the 6th class. These two boxers are the only ones who had ever done this.
Who they are cancel out each other as far as height. You know, they both switch hitters, lift, and everything. All of that cancels out each other. So they are literally the same people pretty much. The only difference is Crawford done been in the big stage against big fighters so many times. And also with age, he didn't beat up his body, so his age is actually good. He got the grown man strength. He not just grown man strength, but he built on top of that. Like, look at him at 135. He was a little scrawny dude. He wasn't a big dude. Now look at him. He ripped up everything. He's strong. So sure. I feel like he got everything, all the experience, all the knowledge. So I gotta go with Crawford.
But every question from a fan or reporter always comes back to the same idea. Could Jaron Ennis do it? Crawford always gives the same answer. A line, a smile, and a shrug. No one is making me lose weight. It's not a duck. He's making the rules. Boots has to rise to the chair if he wants to be king. You can feel it in your bones. But is excited about the test. The thought of facing a fighter who was young enough to be his student, quick enough to try him, and strong enough to mess up his reputation was scary. That's the kind of fight that winners really want.
You know, Terence is your man.
Yeah.
Bud your man.
Yeah.
You know the fight niggas want to see, bro.
What?
Boots. You know niggas want to see Boots, bro.
Bro, Terence is different, bro. I just know that man is different. That's what I'm saying. I never been in the ring with Boots. Yeah. I'm not saying Boots ain't different or you know, not good at all. I think it would be a good fight, but I just think, you know, Terence, just like he said, man, he been battle tested before. Terence been through all the ups and downs in the ring. He's the Floyd Mayweather of this generation. Just the magnitude of this fight, maybe Terence is just not motivated enough.
This fight will be more than just a passing of the buck. It will be a war of times. Crawford, the plan maker. It is calm, efficient, and never-ending. Boots, the storm, is loud, unexpected, and not afraid of anything.
Nice, right? Nice. Over and under, right there. Over and under with that same hand, right there. Yeah, turn it. Turn your hip with it. Do it again. Go take that hip with it. Huh? That's it. Do it again. Come back with the hook. Nice, nice, nice.
Their styles couldn't be more different, but they also go well together. Crawford likes to study, download, and take apart his opponent's boots. He doesn't study. He fights. He's too strong. Pressure versus patience. Chaos versus chess.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
What makes it unique is that Crawford has cleaned out whole classes. He fought and beat everyone who was important. Fans aren't interested in simple games anymore. They look for danger. They're interested in the what-if part. This is exactly what Boots Ennis is, the last big fight before Crawford starts fighting. They all agree that Crawford will end his career on a high note that no one else can match if he wins. But Boots will start a new kingdom if he wins.
Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically went every round, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
And that may be why this fight stands out in a world where big fights like Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson and Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis are the talk of the town.
A fight that makes a whole lot of sense, and a fight that stylistically will be, oh my goodness, is a fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis.
I don't think I think that's going backwards for Terence.
To that point, Jaron doesn't have the kind of accolades. He doesn't sell to the mass and all these. So this fight was perfect timing for both these guys.
There isn't any fake competition or showiness, just two people showing who's better. Crawford is fighting to leave a mark. Boots is fighting to be taken seriously. By 2025, that won't happen very often. While the sport tries to gain power, Crawford and Ennis remember everyone that boxing used to be a place to test people. What fight does Boots take part in? Or who is her dance partner? I don't really know anyone at the moment, really. And to everyone with a big name, I get it. Belt, I get it. You don't think of a specific man, though, because I don't want to ask, hey, this guy or that guy. I'm sure you get these kinds of questions all the time. We'd get into a big fight if you had to say, hey, I think this is the guy. Who could it be? Because it doesn't look like the Crawford fight will happen. Who do you want to dance with? Boots. As I already said, it was someone with the belts, or, I'm not sure, someone at 154. One of the big names at 54. Say the last one last. There wasn't really a fight statement, but Terence Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis looked at each other across the table and made it look like there was one. There is a lot of respect, but there is even more competition.
Hey, great. Bud always been like that. Without a question, solid. You know what I'm saying?
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight going
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, he looked at excellent.
Is there anybody the most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jaron Ennis going to 160. Possibly going Jaron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying, and the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
Crawford is not going to let anyone pass up Boots, who is on his way. This is the fight that could separate 2 generations. Who wants to do everything and who has already done it? Now, here's the question. If it really does go down, who will win? Does the pound-for-pound king show that he can't be beat, or does the young boxer from Philadelphia finally win the title? Leave a comment below telling me what you think. Remember to click the bell, like, and follow. The next film will be with you.